Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc Schlock by request, where it's a review of the movie Funny Man. And this request comes to us from fellow YouTuber Black Phillip. Max Taylor could quite possibly be the luckiest man who's ever lived. It seems like everything he's ever done, it's always turned lucky for him. No matter what he's done in his life, it's always worked out. So one night at a poker game, he wins a house that is owned by a man named Callum Chance. So he wins the poker game, he wins the house, and he moves his family in. And of course, some hitchhikers come along with Max's brother, who plays in a band. So they move into the house and they notice that there's a wheel there that, it's a wheel that you spin around and, it's either good or bad. So they spin the wheel, make the deal in a way, and it turns out that's what brings back the funny man. And he goes after everybody in the house, from the young son to the daughter to the wife to this one woman who's been wanting to get at him for a long time, to a Velma from Scooby-Doo lookalike. It's a dead ringer, what can I say? There's just so many different people who, in a way, it's like they kind of live out their fantasies, but it all goes wrong. So finally, Max and the funny man meet, and let's just say it does not end very, very well. And every once in a while, we get some cut-ins to Callum, who it's revealed he's in a, I want to say, some mental home or something like that. So then the funny man gives a monologue to the audience, because yes, in this movie, he breaks the fourth wall constantly. And he kind of discusses what happens and everything like that. Shrugs his shoulders, walks off, and we see Max not in a really good condition. The only star of the movie I could say was Christopher Lee. So why did this movie suck? I can think of two reasons. Two really big reasons, and they made me very sick. But other than that, this is a very, very, very good movie. I have to put it in my top 10 favorite horror comedies of all time. You can really look at Funny Man as sort of saying he's the British Freddy Krueger. But really, when he's given the monologue at the end of the movie, you're really not quite 100% sure if he could have been the villain or if he could have been maybe just doing something to what could have been some really, really, really bad people. I mean, I can't sit here and say all the characters in this movie were entirely bad, but it just seemed like he was just doing what he was wanting to do because, I guess it was just kind of in him to do it. The gore in this movie is there are some pretty gory moments that made me cringe really, really badly, but when Funny Man gets his victims, they are so hilarious and off the wall. I can't really describe my favorite one because they're all pretty crazy. But when he gets Max's brother, that one really ended on something that made me kind of go, wow, that was pretty awesome. I can't say too many bad things about this movie. I mean, it used to be here on YouTube, and I guess it had to be taken down, which was kind of a shame because the first time I watched it, I gave it a like, and I was really hoping it was going to be around for quite some time. Of course, this movie's over 20 years old, so you should probably be able to find it online somewhere. And apparently there's another version of this, I think, that came out around last year or a couple of years ago, something like that. I don't think it has anything to do with this movie. But yeah, you may not get a whole lot of Christopher Lee in this movie, but it's really a movie that by the end of it, you're like me. You're kind of questioning, was he really a hero? Was he a villain? Was he an anti-hero? What was he? Or was all this in Max's mind because he did a lot of cocaine? So there you guys have it, a review of Funny Man. Special thanks to Black Phillip for his request, and hopefully he's going to get some videos on his channel before too long. And if you've seen this one, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below about what you thought about it, whether you agree or disagree. And of course, if you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. Sorry for spoiling this one for you guys, by the way, if you haven't seen it, but it is something to really see. It's really awesome. If you got a horror, sci-fi horror, comedy horror, or fantasy horror movie that couldn't be quite as funny as this movie, send it my way and I will get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.